He was on his way to go and bury his own father when he was kidnapped and killed by a policeman-led kidnapping squad. His name was Reverend Father Cyriacus Onunkwo. He was 47 years old from Imo State and was serving in Lagos Parish at the time. Then one day he gets a call from the village. His own father had passed on. So he made preparation to go back to Imo State and meet with family for his father's burial. This was on the 1st of September 2017. He was driving his Toyota Corolla and he arrived into Imo State in the evening, something about 8:30 p.m. While on the road, somewhere close to his village in Imo State, a Toyota Avalon just parked and blocked him. Immediately someone came down and was threatening him and said, "You are under arrest." People around thought, okay, maybe it's just police. He also was at relief that, okay, this is not a kidnapping. He was planning to come down and just speak to them normally as police officers, but they bundled him and put him at the back seat of their own car. That was when he was trying to explain. He's actually a reverend father. His father had just died. He's trying to go for the burial in the village. These people were not listening. Immediately they picked their big size sellotape, bound his mouth, and in process they bound his nose also. They bound his eyes, bound his leg, bound his arm, and took his mobile phone so he could also not call anyone. This gang drove away in their Toyota Avalon and also took his Corolla with them. Those people that saw this terrible crime happen immediately called the police to inform them of what they had seen. The police immediately swung into action and tried to see what they can do. But the next day, on the 2nd of September 2017, they got a call from another division and that local government that is actually an unrecognized body. They should come and see if it is the one that they reported to them that they are actually looking for. Now these police officers were from Olu, so they called one of the fathers in the convent who knew Father Cyriacus very well. They went to the place to go and identify the body, and sadly that body was the body of Father Cyriacus, confirmed by Reverend Father Kenneth. The tragic murder of this priest angered a lot of people. Like how? This guy was paying school fees for many people, he was teaching many children, he was a joy to many people both in Lagos and his home state, Imo State. Even the then governor of Imo, Rocha Sokorocha, released a statement calling this kind of murder an evil and wicked murder. He directed the then commissioner of police, Chris Ezike, to immediately swing into action and bring these murderers to book. Even the IGP at the time also gave an order. This murder must be solved. I know when there are big weights behind cases like this, it gets solved instantly. They began tracking with everything that they could find. From his mobile phone, his car, everything that they could find that they could track. They began. For 5 days straight, these officers did not rest. They did everything they could do, only for them to find that this case will actually cover 3 states: Imo, Anambra, and Rivers State. They made their first arrest on the 5th of September, just 4 days after this whole murder incident had happened. It was at a control post in Owerri, the same state where Father Cyriacus had been murdered. And you not believe who they first caught? 32-year-old Jude Madu. The worst part, he was a police corporal. He was one that led these kidnappers on that quest that day. This one first buzzed their brain. Then they doubled down. With every information he was giving them, they kept on catching more people. On the 6th of September, they went for the next person called Izuchukwu Okafo, aka Small. He was in Presidential Hotel in Port Harcourt, enjoying whatever proceeds of this crime that they had already shared. On the same day, they caught another guy, Cyril Onyema, at a control post in Owerri. He confessed to being the one that drove this Toyota Avalon on that day. With this amount of people, even more people were even giving up. The next person was Emmanuel Ozigbo, that they caught at an NNPC control post in Owerri. This guy was even caught with Father Cyriacus wristwatch. Like this guy was walking around with evidence on him. The next person that they caught was Victor Ikechukwu. He was actually the owner of the Toyota Avalon. According to him, he just said his brother told him, "Come, let's go somewhere with your car." He was not a gang member, he was not affiliated with them. He didn't even know what they were doing until he started seeing guns. The next suspect was Ikechukwu Nwozu. They said when they already picked him, before they started to bound him, he was saying he's a reverend father, he's going for a burial. But the organizer of this entire thing, Jude Madu, was never going to back down since he had started the operation. Since they already began, they didn't want to stop there. They wanted to go further. How did they get their guns? Only to find out that it was a 16-year-old boy that was a supplier for their guns, ammunition, cartridges, bulletproof vest. This 16-year-old boy had everything. His name was Onyedikachi Nyaka. Now that everyone was complete, there was just one person missing, the head of the criminal organization. His name was Charles Nana. But the moment he noticed that one person was already missing, he had an Indonesian visa and he took flight immediately. They couldn't catch him for 3 years. He was abroad, but the Nigerian police kept him on their watch list. After 3 years, to him, he thought everybody must have forgotten everything now. So he thought to himself, at least I can go back as an IGGB in December, maybe I'll find a wife for myself. But he didn't return immediately until 16th of February 2020 when he returned into the country. The Nigerian police were following him without his knowledge, and when they began the ceremony of his traditional wedding to his new wife, the Nigerian police swung in. That was when he confessed to his own role in the killing and murder of Father Cyriacus. May his soul rest in peace. I've not been able to find any court judgment on this whole case, but here's what all of them look like. And shout out to all the men of the Imo State Police Department on a try. But sadly, no amount of justice can bring back someone who has been killed. Stay safe.